Hello. Hi guys. Happy Valentine's Day. So I have two lives going on here, but I thought I would try to multitask for the most part because I didn't really have this on the schedule, right, to go live. So we'll see how many I catch of you guys live on this beautiful Friday, and how many catch the replay, right? So either way, I wanted to jump on here. And first, happy Valentine's Day. You know, I'm bringing all the love, literally, all my hearts in my shirt, which, by the way, I wear this not just on Valentine's. But yes, bringing all the love this Valentine's Day, of course, with our new announcement of our pre-order that is happening right now. I don't know how many of you guys have already jumped on and taken advantage of it this morning. But I do wanted to share a little bit of thought processes behind them, the background paper packs that we just announced. And so yeah, something very special. I think that adds and contributes to your result in your scrapbooking pages that you work so hard as scrapbookers, right? That we work so hard as scrapbookers on. And then of course, just share the love for this beautiful hobby on this day. I literally, the thought of going live and just hanging out with you guys for a moment just filled me with so much love for this hobby and love for you guys and your support and just your inspiration, all of it. I really enjoy it and I really love it. And I hope that you guys feel the same way. Okay, so recently we posted over on social media this question, which is a little loaded, but the secret to a stunning scrapbooking page, right? And I did have a chance last night just to read a few of them. And, you know, one person was more like obvious, like your pictures. Yes, yes, your pictures are what makes your pages amazing. Clearly, you can't have a page without your pictures. But with that said, really, it all starts with a great foundation, that background paper. I know I can attest to that there have been so many times where I sit down to scrapbook and boy, that first layer, that foundation that you are building the rest of the layers and the elements and your pictures, all of that on top of really makes a difference. It really, really does. And sometimes we skimp on that. Sometimes we settle on it because we have no other options in our backgrounds. Sometimes we're just not quite sure how to make those decisions, you know? And so with that said, and we'll talk about that here a little bit more, this is why as scrapbookers ourselves, and when I say us, here at kiwilane, and Debbie, myself, and Shiloh, we founded, of course, kiwilane, but we gathered our insights, our tried and true formulas over the years with working with pattern paper with the goal of using our paper stash. And then of course, inside of that, really teaching, of course, the play to create method. But this is probably our most asked question is how to pick the pattern papers. And so if you don't have this yet, please let us know. Email support at kiwilane if you need to. I will throw it in the chats here in the comments and hopefully you see it. I know comments can be hit and miss sometimes, but it's a free guide on mixing and matching your pattern. And it's a formula that we put together that really emphasizes the different types of patterns you need when you are, you know, creating a full complete page. So that all starts with, oh, no sound. I have no sound again. Oh my goodness. There we go. I have no sound over on this other one and totally missed the comments. Thanks, Linda. She texted me. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, here you guys go. I was sitting here chatting the whole time and no sound on the other one. I think I'm good over here, right, guys? Yay. Oh my goodness. Well, I was sharing, guys. Happy Valentine's. Let me just put it at that. And then also, of course, how excited I am about these background sheets. And I wanted to get on and talk about it. I wanted to talk about why they make such an impact on your pages, why they're so important, why, you know, that question, the secret to a stunning scrapbooking page, right? and how it really does start with the right foundation. Okay. And actually, okay, so really quickly, I was in this morning and just, prepping to come live and, just gathering my thoughts, because lives can be intimidating sometimes. But with that said, Melody, she posted, and I just laughed. It literally made me laugh out loud. She's like, I keep telling myself I don't need any more paper. Enough of that negative talk. I can't wait to buy it. And she, it just made me laugh that she, defined that sentiment as negative talk. And I just thought, oh, that's hilarious. But Deborah Johnson came in and responded to her. And she said, this is different though. This is practical. And you guys know I love practical. I really do. I love practical. This will help you use up your paper stash. And gosh, that is so true. That is exactly why we decided, of course, along with that, you guys have been asking for a long time, like we really could use more background patterns and papers and things like that. So this really is exactly why we created these packs, and why, we often say you have enough paper. The reality is this is the missing piece. I don't know about you guys, but with these formulas, I got so far. I was able to use up a lot of my paper stash over the years using this exact paper formula, by the way, by creating what we consider layout packs. But often when I go to do that process, the foundation pieces really are the missing piece. And so it really is going to help you use up your paper stash. And just like with this organizational phase that we were in with these tabs, and we did this event in January that hopefully you guys found helpful and effective. I know it's made a huge difference in my organization, so hopefully you felt the same thing. I think what we're gonna do in, say, early August when these items come in play, I think we're gonna really put some events around, again, making the most of your paper stash. We'll probably hit this heavy as far as this formula goes, and we'll do events in the community, all specially geared around these missing pieces and how to really, get the most out of it this year. So, but I will say these foundations are often that missing piece. So I put together actually a few key things that I wanted to share with you guys. Okay, so much that of course I was like, well, we can't put all of this. So I thought I would just go live. So of course, what I was just sharing is like when you go to pick out these patterns in your paper stash, right? You have your bold patterns, your theme designs. We often even have cardstock. And, a lot of times we substitute our backgrounds for cardstock, white cardstock, plain cardstock, and that can do the trick. Actually, we often suggest that. If you have it in your stash, then great. But sometimes, and this is just my personal opinion, I think it does leave your page just a little flat. And so that's why I always recommend these two-tones, these blenders, these references to what we consider a really great foundational pattern, right? And so we just know that as scrapbookers, we need more than just that eye-catching designs. Like we need papers that serve as that keystone to your layout, and it just creates a balance, cohesion, and making layering kind of effortlessly at that point. So when I say like that first layer really makes a difference, it really does make a difference, and I've experienced that multiple times. Actually, there's been plenty of times when I'm in the middle of scrapbooking a page, and maybe you guys have felt something similar, where I'm like, something is just not clicking, something feels off. And what we naturally do, for whatever it's worth, we start to kind of point to us, like we must be off. We must be not being creative, like something's wrong with us. And I can tell you more often than not, it's usually the paper in which you're using, the backgrounds that are setting you off, that are changing the mood, that's not making you feel it as much as you want to feel connected to what you're creating. So usually in those moments, I remind myself of that, and then I go and switch some paper, and then boom, things start to click in place. So it really does, it really is that keystone that really pulls a lot of that together. So that's why we created these background paper packs, because we've had that feeling many times ourselves, and also we've seen a lack of them often in, of course, whether past old paper stash, which by the way, you can use your paper stash. Sometimes you just need that missing piece, right? And these foundations are often that missing piece. Okay, one other good question I saw just pop up here. I'll go ahead and address it really quickly. Are these like old color palettes from old ones or new ones? So I actually handpicked them myself. We put them all out on this like vision board, a digital vision board, and meaning past club kits, kiwilane paper. It's the same good quality still and all of that stuff. And then I hand selected which ones I feel like would be, yes, coordinate well across multiple kits, but also beyond just kiwilane's paper. Like we have 3 packs that we summarized that down to. We did a neutral one, and that neutral one, again, we're going to utilize come August. We're gonna have some events that really utilize your stash that you have, right? Which is probably a mixture of different brands, single sheets, because you probably went through the single sheet buying phase. I did. And all of that good stuff. And we'll talk about all of that more. But yeah, we have the neutral pack, and that's just a timeless collection of creams, whites, browns, blacks. This would be a really go-to for your kind of more elegant, adaptable backgrounds, things like that. Like, yeah, neutral is a great go-to. Then you have your golden hours is how we rephrased it. It has a little bit more of your bolds, your brights. It's like your sunset hues, reds, warms, yellows. There are some even creams in there, and some pinks, and even some little red shades. But the shades, I will say again, that the hue of the shades of these ones that we picked will accommodate, especially because of what the purpose they're filling here, which is that foundation, which you're going to realize the moment you layer in those main patterns or those supporting patterns, it will allow you to go either based on what pattern you're using to more brights or more neutrals or lighter. And so they really will help stretch those out. So hopefully that makes sense. And then we have earth tones. Earth tones are pretty popular. I will say often used here at kiwilane. But with that said, it's because they're so universal. I mean, you can never go wrong with a good blue or a good green. You just can't. They're just so calming and neutral and just so supportive of any type of pictures I feel like you put on that would work along those lines. So they're very calming and perfect for, well, they're inspired by nature. So we called it earth tones because you can find so many greens and blues in our lovely, beautiful earth that we live in, but they really are great for versatile layouts. So again, another great pack that I think is going to have multiple purpose and practical use, which is all music to my ears. So that's a great thing. So again, if you are not familiar with this, please, please, please download it. It's a free guide. Share it with other scrapbookers because it has completely changed how I've used my paper stash and allowed me to use my paper stash. But again, we want to fix or address that missing piece, which are these background sheets, okay? Often is true about when it comes to paper stash. So with that said, here's 10 essential things why these backgrounds are essential, okay? A strong foundation. Backgrounds act as a unifier in that overall creative process, helping to blend and coordinate your paper stash for you. And boy, again, that choice really makes a difference when you get started. They are the keystone to your layout, okay? They are literally act like the arch. They hold it all together, and the right background paper holds that entire design together. Your pictures, everything, and just ensuring that everything works in harmony. So again, we will really drive down on some of these come August when these pre-order items come in. Just know that. They help you find balance in your stash. They provide a guiding foundation for selecting these other patterns for, and those complementary patterns to work off of this foundation. So it will help you shop your stash. It will help fill in that missing piece to allow you to use more of that other stash confidently and happy with the results that you get from those selections. So confidence and cohesion, those are valuable. And honestly, when I say that it's the missing piece from your stash, it's really not a knock to other paper companies, because I love paper, so I can't really be biased on it. But I will say that other paper companies focus on, they have their solids and stuff, but they focus on the eye candy and the bold patterns and the big patterns, but those backgrounds are often missing, and these packs fill that gap. They allow you to bring your, again, existing stash together. Oh, and also these packs, just so you guys know, they do have 20 sheets each, but it's 2 of each design. So whether you make a 1-pager, but if you want a 2-pager, you'll have that within one pack. It's already considered into the pack. I think as scrapbookers, we're often used to so I have to buy 2 of each, which you can still, so that you can make sure you have them in your stash, because I promise you're going to go through these. But one pack already considers a 2-page spread in mind, okay? And overall, just elevate your pages. That background going and kind of transitioning or, moving towards where you're using these tone-on-tone patterns, these 2-tone blender kind of patterns, as we say that we recommend for a good background. Sorry, I have two cameras. I know that could be awkward sometimes, but they really do elevate your pages. And so, again, that could be a personal interest, a style, all of that stuff. Totally get it. But if you've ever looked at kiwilane paper or pages, or often 2 things that somebody's like, well, why doesn't my page turn out the way your page is? I usually break it down to 2 things. The background sheet selection, which I did this amazing video in the community. If you haven't checked it out yet, I'll actually go check it out here in a moment in the community and figure out what that is called before I sign off with you guys, so that you guys know. But anyways, where I was going with that was I did this video where I was scrapbooking with my sister, and she came to me and was like, oh, my page, she was so dedicated to these pictures. They meant so much to her. She wanted this beautiful page. And so she was like, we were scrapbooking, and I'm always hesitant because everyone's style is a little different. And so I don't want to step on that. I actually think having that is very valuable. Everyone's style is a little different. But in this case, she wanted the results that she was seeing. And I said, it's your background paper. You got to change this background paper. And so we did this live in an event, and I was about to do it with her. And I said, listen, can I go live and we record this? So that's the event I'm talking about in the community. So you can see a real good kind of thought process through that. But the other thing I was going to say, when people say, well, what am I missing from my pages? I usually say inking. I'm like, ink the edges. It will give you that more professional look that you're wanting, that you have the desire for. So between foundation pieces and inking, if you have a desire for whatever you acclaim as more professional layout, those are my 2 cents on that, okay? So yeah, the perfect foundation, a good high quality double-sided background. Just in general, these kits are full of those, so that you will be able to experiment with that, and also, like I said, get the results that you also desire. And also your pictures. Like I said, my sister, I could just see the torment in her, where she was so dedicated to these pictures and so desperate to want to create something, that really fully reflected. Some pictures are just more meaningful to us when we sit down to scrapbook. So we put a lot more pressure on us, right, when we scrapbook them. But I can tell you, if you're just wanting to elevate your pages just a little more, sometimes just a good background versus a solid cardstock or something like that really, really will elevate your pages. And then, of course, they're just designed with purpose. These background packs feature, of course, the subtle patterns that I was talking about. And those ranges of colors between the 3 packs should pretty much cover a good basis of needs, And whether you lean more to brights or lean more to like subtle patterns in related to your other patterns that you might have in your stash. All right. Okay, I don't think I saw any more questions, but overall, hopefully that gives you guys just a little bit more into just what we've seen in our own scrapbooking experience that has made a difference. And then also, of course, hearing so many of your guys' requests for these type of patterns to help you to, again, get more use out of your stash. And overall, just all of the above. Okay, so this pre-order kicked off on this beautiful Valentine's Day to celebrate our love for paper. and this will go through the 19th. This will give us a good roundabout of interest. And like I said, it's always so hard to know like where recommendations or feedback come in, like what that really that percentage of needs and wants are among all of you guys. And so we, this is kind of what helps us with these pre-orders as well. But we know that it will make a difference in your scrapbooking. And so we were like, let's put the effort in on our part, at least, to offer this. And so I'm excited to see. Let's see. These pre-orders, like I said, they are pre-orders, so they won't come in until early August or sooner. I expect sooner, but early August. But I will tell you, plan then in August some special events even more so we can actually get a little bit more practical with all of this information that I just shared with you. All right, so I'm going to plan on that. I will plan that into my schedule to make sure that we are scheduling some special events, related paper, related pattern picking, related foundations, and how they play an effect, all of that in August. Sound like a deal? Okay. Club members, also make sure that you sign into your account, and you should save 10% off of your online orders, and $75. If you spend $75 or more, you get free shipping. So make sure to keep that in mind, okay? And that applies, of course, to these pre-orders. So I'm double checking really quickly, make sure I didn't miss any comments. Oh yes, Vicki, thank you for reminding me. Let me go find that in the community. We're gonna do a quick little field trip here, and I am going to go find that article that talks about different things. Actually, so inside of the community, let me see here. We have this section called Kiwi's Paper Picking Method, okay? There's 3 types of things that we often teach on at kiwilane. The play-to-create system, really tapping into play to help you be creative and come up with your designs. We talk about paper picking, right? We talk about photos and video tips. So that has a section in of itself inside the community. And then organization, we have a section on that. And then cutting tips. Really, honestly, that's the scope of what we kind of find, that those are the primary things that everything else centers around, of course. So the reason I mention that is because we have a space called Kiwi's Paper Picking Method. And inside of that are actually 5 great articles, okay? 5 great articles. I'm gonna copy it and put it here in the chat so you guys have it, and I'll do it in both places. Here you go, Vicki, you bet. All right, so again, just know that when you go over to the Circle kiwilane community, look for the space in the menu, Kiwi Paper Picking Method, and you can get familiar with that, okay? Actually, the one that I'm talking about with my sisters is that latest one. We just shifted her background to something a little bit more vibrant. And again, only working with what we had in stash, because like I said, often these foundational backgrounds, great 2 tones that I always love on my pages are often missing. And I get them in the Kiwi clubs, but then I don't know if you guys ever experienced this, where I have to, like, when I'm using my other stash to build even more layout kits, as I go through I build like 5 layout kits, I use the 5. I build like another 5 for my stash, I use the 5. Now my Kiwi Club kits, I don't have to build because they're already built and created around this formula, so I just keep those together. But yeah, I'm often lacking when I want to go build more layout kits to, you know, to use on some special layout, or when I go to a crop is usually when I build more. Usually when I go to an event, I build quite a few up so that I can take them with me. Anyways, check out those articles. They should be really great, hopefully very helpful. And it is something just like always that, you know, repeat, practice makes perfect. It is true about most things in life, right? In most things in life. Belita says, in my rural area, blenders aren't really available, and if happen to find a few, they are expensive. KLD paper packs are what I consider affordable, and I purchased enough packages to last me a lifetime. Well, that's awesome, Belita. And I just hope that you get used out of it. I really do. And so, like I said, we will make sure in August to really motivate and encourage each other. We all need that, you know, extra motivation, so to speak. So we will be motivating each other, and I'll constantly be motivating you to be using this, because I more than the paper itself, the love is seeing those finished pages be created, but also, like I said, having that confidence and reassurance what you're doing will have a great foundation to work on top of. And it does make huge difference, huge difference. Julene says, moving forward, will the packs be a regular item in the Kiwi shop? So we have not decided yet. So in all transparency, I will be honest, paper is not like very cost effective for us. Whether that's always, it's just not, but it's an essential to scrapbooking, right? So it's always something that we're weighing out, but that's why we're offering this pre-order. We could offer them. Honestly, I just don't have enough information yet. I know that's a loaded response to that question, but it's always that balance, I will say, from a business point of view, that we're always trying to consider in those things. Now, again, as club members, you get free shipping, $75 an order, because that's, I will be honest, the other part of the equation that often is just a problem too is shipping, of course, of paper. And if you're getting one pack, the shipping is just more costly because of the nature of the 12 by 12, and paper's heavy. So, but it's an essential, I will say, Julene. So I understand that. That was a loaded response to your question, but like I said, all things that we have to consider. So, okay, I think that I covered pretty much all the questions. Hopefully, if I missed anything, let me know in the comments. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Yeah, my hair is getting long. I actually was trying to decide if I should cut it or not. I'm like, do I cut my hair? But you know, I gotta get time to go do that. I spray my gray hairs. I'm still to that point in life where I still spray the gray hairs. Meaning I have this like little, oh, I think I just like rubbed it, but yeah, little thing that sprays the gray hairs when it grows out, because I haven't got my hair done yet for a bit. But all right, guys, well, enjoy your Valentine's Day, and definitely make sure, like I said, go check them out. If there's a pack that you feel like you'll more benefit from because of your personal style, that's why we offer 3 different ones. I know some people are like, oh, a bright, but just know that the bright is considered into the golden hour pack. Okay, so if that's a preference of yours, I would recommend the golden hour, but it will accommodate far beyond that perspective that I was talking about in relation to that. Okay, embrace the sparkle. Oh, you mean the gray hairs? That took me a moment, Melanie. Embrace the sparkles. I'll get there. I'll get there. I promise. I'm sure of it. But I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm ready quite yet. So, oh, you guys are awesome. All right, take care. Thanks, guys, so much. Let me know if you guys have any questions. And again, happy Valentine's Day. Bye, guys.